Hi, and today I'm going to be going over integers. So, an integer is a whole number. It can be a negative or a positive, and it cannot be a decimal or a fraction. So, I'm going to be going over how to add, subtract, and multiply integers, and divide as well. So, let's do -1 minus -1, or just -1 minus 1. This would be -2. Or we could do -9 plus 2, and it would be -7. We could also do 3 minus 4, which is just -1. We can also set up a number line. So -1, -2, -3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll add 4 here. So in this problem, we started at 3, right here. And then we're subtracting 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get here at -1. Or if we did 2 minus 5, we would start here at the 2, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would land on -3. So 2 minus 5 is -3. And if we wanted to multiply, we could do -5 times 3, and it would be -15. So any positive number multiplied by a negative number always turns out negative. So if it was -2 times 5, it would be just -10. But if it's -2 times -2, it's just 4. Or -5 times -5, it's just 25. So negative times negative comes out positive. Negative times positive comes out negative. And we can do division as well. So -0.2 over -0.2, it's just 1, positive 1. But if it was -0.2 over 0.2, it would be -1. Next, let's talk about ratios, which a ratio is part over part, or A and B. So let's say we have 8 apples and 4 oranges. The ratio would be 8 to 4, or 8 over 4. And we can bring this down to 4 to 2, and then just 2 to 1. So this is saying for every 2 apples, there's 1 orange. And then let's do rates with it, which is a special type of ratio. So let's do a rate of 60 over 2. So 60, let's say, could be miles. And then 2 could be hours. So this would be 30 miles per hour. Or we can do this. Let's say you're at the store and there's a pack of 5 pens for $10. So we would put the $10 on top in the numerator and put the 5 pens in the denominator. And so this rate would be $2 per pen. Next, I wanted to go over percents. So how do we find the percent of a number? Let's take some number like 50 and say I want to know what 20% of 50 is. So we would just multiply it by 0.20 or 0.2. It would have to be a decimal. And this would just equal 10. Say you wanted to know what 40% of 50 is, you would do the exact same thing, 50 times 0.4. So the only number that changes are these two. If you wanted to know what 45% of 50 is, you would put 45 here. Or 98% of 50, you would put 98 right here. So there's also another thing I wanted to show you about percents. So we can find out the percent increase or the percent decrease of a price. So let's say you went to the store one day and you saw something for $100. And then you go to the store the next day and then now it's at $80. And you want to know what the percent decrease was in this. So what you would do is you would take the original and then you would get the original and then subtract the new price. So it would be 100 minus 80, right? Which is equal to 20. So once you get this, it's going to equal some number, and then you're going to divide it by the original. So you would divide 20 by the original price, which is 100. And then once you get this, you're going to want to multiply this by 100%. And this is the method. Original minus new equals some number divided by the original price times 100%. And that's how you would find the percent decrease of a price. We could also find the percent increase by doing new minus original equals some number divided by the original number, and then just times it by 100%. So basically the same thing as the other, but just with these two switched. And that's how you would find the percent increase or percent decrease. Next, I also wanted to go over algebraic expressions. I wanted to go over what's a constant, coefficient, and a term. So an algebraic expression combines numbers, variables, and operations. A constant would be a number, like 5, or -3, 100, -20, really just any number. A variable would be a letter like X, Y, Z, and going on. And then a term would be 5x, 10x, 35x, just a constant and a variable. Next, a coefficient. A coefficient would be 3x. So 3 is the coefficient here. And in 5x, 5 is the coefficient. And in 10x, 10 is the coefficient. So now that you know that,